Fighters can have some good trash talking before fights in order to hype up the fights and themselves, and this can lead to some hurt feelings. This can lead to legitimate hate that sometimes doesn't get resolved in the fights. Yet others hate their opponents because of truly evil things that they did that could have led to injury. Please give this video a like or I'll punch you in the face. Let's just get started. This one is probably the one that actually deserves the most hate. Miguel Cotto was undefeated going into his first fight with Antonio Margarito back in 2008. And in this fight, he not only lost, he got absolutely destroyed. And I'm not talking about his skills. No, his face was mangled.
Just putting space for little Margarito short shots on the inside now, Emmanuel.
Oh yeah.
Has accumulated to the point.
Cotto was fighting very well and landed a ton of powerful punches on Margarito. If anything, he landed the better shots for much of the first half of the fight. But Margarito just walked right through them with his impressive chin. Cotto, on the other hand, was getting worn down, and it might have been because Margarito had a plaster in his hand wraps. In his next fight, Margarito fought against Moseley, but during the hand wrap check, Moseley's trainer noticed something, so he asked them to be rewrapped. When they inspected them later, they found that they used plaster. Obviously, Cotto and everybody was suspicious that he used it in this first fight. So when they had a rematch, Cotto came out for revenge.
Of Margarito's punches in there.
He doesn't cut off the ring. 3-2.
Obviously, Cotto won the fight. He destroyed Margarito, and without the extra power from the plaster, Margarito was unable to wear down Cotto. He was made to quit the fight after his eye got extremely swelled up. Daniel Cormier has only lost to two people in his entire career, Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic. One is possibly the GOAT, and the other is the heavyweight GOAT. That's pretty impressive. But Cormier truly hates Jon Jones, and it apparently all started when Jones and Cormier met backstage at UFC 121, and Jones told him that he could take him down. Cormier took this as an insult, and the hate began. They met at UFC 182, and Jones got the better of Cormier, winning by decision.
John, kick to the body. Look at this, John.
Jones said that he said this in jest, but Cormier has always known the true Jones. And when they were caught talking after an interview they had together where Jones showed his true colors, well, I tend to believe Cormier that maybe it was meant as an insult.
It's unbelievable how fake you can really be. Like, you are just such a fucking pussy.
Plus, it doesn't help that Cormier was called a paper champion for such a long time, since he got the belt without actually beating Jones. And later, when they were going to have a rematch, Jones got caught with banned substances. Muhammad Ali's original name was Cassius Clay, and after he changed it, very few people still continued using Cassius Clay, and one of those people was Ernie Terrell. Right before their fight, during an interview, Terrell started using Cassius, and Ali didn't take it very well, and asked him politely to call him by his real name. Terrell continued using that name, and it got a little heated.
Cassius Clay, yes.
Why do you want to say Cassius Clay when Howard Cosell and everybody is calling you Muhammad Ali? Then why you got to be the one of all people whose color to keep...
Muhammad Ali implored him to call him by his name, or he would destroy him during the fight and force him to say his name in the middle of the ring. Terrell refused, and well, he got the beating of his life, while Ali continued saying, "What's my name?" in the middle of the fight as he was battering him. Of course, Muhammad Ali hated Terrell. He changed his name for his deeply held religious beliefs and his civil rights activism. It meant a lot to him, and Terrell completely disrespected that part of him. Frank Mir was the first person to fight Brock Lesnar in the UFC, and although Lesnar was beating up Mir in the ground and pound after taking him down, he made a small mistake and Mir was able to submit him.
Good leg kick by Lesnar. He's in a dump.
In the rematch though, Lesnar was the defending champion and he had gained a ton of experience in his previous 4 pro fights, so he didn't make any mistakes and got a second round finish.
Goes for the takedown. Oh, he jumped up and finished it. That's it.
Mir really wanted to have a third fight after getting beat, but it just never happened. During an interview, he said that he truly disliked Lesnar, that he hated his loudmouth brash persona, and that he didn't want kids looking up to that type of person. He actually said that he wanted to kill him.
I want to fight Lesnar. I hate who he is as a person. I want to break his neck in the ring. I want him to be the first person that dies due to octagon-related injuries. That's what's going through my mind.
He made it clear that this hate goes way beyond any petty crap that most fighters have. This is truly, truly personal, and sadly, he never got his chance to maybe take him down a notch. Oscar de la Hoya was coming off his knockout loss against Hopkins, and after taking a 15-month hiatus when he considered retiring. But he was ready to move on, and he had a fight set up against Ricardo Mayorga. Mayorga is a very special fighter. Special in as he drinks, smokes, and parties right before his fights. And let's not forget about his trash talking. He trash talks with the very best of them, and he even said that he hated Oscar and wanted to kill him. And apparently, hate is contagious, as De La Hoya grew to hate Mayorga after he insulted his family, his race, and said he took a dive against Hopkins, and also called him the F-word multiple times.
Dile a tu mujer que te dé huevo en la mañana para que te pares a pelear conmigo. No te vayas a tirar como cuando te tiraste con Bernajón en Prayo.
Oscar obviously grew tired, and he outright told him what was going to happen during the fight. He was going to knock him out, since he talked about his family and his people.
I'm going to try to beat him with short punches.
It was a beautiful lesson that Mayorga got taught. Or I would say that, but this guy doesn't learn anything. He just keeps talking, and will people just want to fight him to try and shut him up. The feud between Tito Ortiz and Ken Shamrock all started because of kind of stupid reasons, to be honest. Ortiz would wear different shirts after beating members of Shamrock's Lion's Den fight team, and Shamrock would blow up each time. I get it's disrespect, but a stupid shirt? Come on. Plus the insults were really childish. Shamrock hated Ortiz, and after Shamrock got down to a good size, they had their trilogy.
Immediately. Nice leg kick. Setting up in another knee, Shamrock. And the big slam by Tito.
Everybody thought that Shamrock would come out victorious, as he was still highly respected, but Ortiz came out fast and eventually forced a corner stoppage. They continued to have the rivalry, and they had 2 more fights in 2006, and Tito won them both by TKO.
Nice elbows. Nice elbows.
Muhammad Ali's last fight was against Trevor Berbick, and well, the greatest of all time was clobbered on that night. Ali was old at this time, and Berbick took him apart during all 10 rounds. Mike Tyson saw this, and hatred started to grow in his heart, as his hero was Muhammad Ali, and after seeing what Berbick did to him, he said he couldn't wait to face him, and actually said that he wanted to kill him.
Not about it. I was going to kill him. You know, I know, so the way he was hitting Ali really hard with everything he had. Ali didn't have nothing left. He was trying to kill him.
Tyson got his wish 5 years after beating Ali, but unfortunately, Berbick didn't last enough for Tyson to put some real damage, as Berbick was taken out in only the 2nd round, as Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Standing toe-to-toe is Robinson, flips him with the left hand. Look at this, combination. That uppercut is Tyson, catches him with a right left hook, and he goes down.
So we saw that Antonio Margarito was caught with illegal hand wraps when he faced Shane Moseley. Well, that happened in 2009, and it was discovered just before the fight started by Nassim Richardson. Well, obviously, Moseley took this as Margarito cheating, and as a way of him wanting to seriously hurt him, so he came out to do some real damage.
Back to throwing his left. Good left hook by Moseley.
That was a knockdown. He went into the rope.
Getting destroyed by Margarito. And Cotto.
Moseley completely outclassed Margarito, knocking him out in the 9th round. You could see that power that Moseley was putting into his shots, like he wanted Margarito to pay for what he just tried to get away with. Moseley owes his coach a lot for saving him from possibly getting really injured. Julio Cesar Chavez was already a legend when he had a record of 84-0 when he was set to face Greg Hogan. Hogan, although, questioned that incredible record and said that he beat mostly taxi drivers down in Tijuana. Well, Chavez started to really hate him and told him during a face-off that he was going to take his head off, that there was going to be no compassion. Chavez did exactly what he said. Although he knocked him down in the 1st round just to show him a little something, he could have easily finished him off really early in that fight, but he kept him alive just so he could beat him up some more until he finally finished him in the 5th round.
Working to the body, but he's starting out quickly against Chavez. Oh, brother, a combination. Chavez unloading, and it speaks.
Some of those taxi drivers even lasted longer than Hogan. Conor McGregor is probably the best trash talker in MMA, but when he fought against Khabib Nurmagomedov, he really went over the line by attacking Khabib's wife, religion, people, and anything he could think of. Khabib tried to remain cool throughout it all, but it got to him and he had extreme hatred for Conor and all his trainers. During the fight, he smashed Conor and was saying during the fight, "Let's talk now." But Conor used his old get out of jail card. It's just business.
15 minutes in the books. We head to the championship.
Then we all know what happened. Khabib went mad and jumped over the fence, and all hell broke loose.
No.
I completely understand the hate that some of these fighters have. So much trash talking can really get under anybody's skin and can turn personal at any second. But the Moseley and Cotto hate for Margarito is the most legit since he actually tried to hurt them. Luckily, they got him back really good. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next time.